Did it! Actually did it! Broke the ice. Did the first one, the toughest one. That's always the hardest, you know. Anytime you try something new, try something scary, that first one, Second time, not so bad. Little scary, sure, but not so bad as the first time. But the first time, I'm telling you, you make a sound like that, you might want to go see a doctor. Hello, this is Talk the Walk on AM 980 KKMS. More Spirited Talk Radio. Yes, indeedy, we went to the University of Minnesota today to do some street preaching. And yes, indeedy, I got on a stool and got up there and preached for 20 minutes.
So technically, people couldn't actually see your face.
And then...
I mean, at your height, on a
sore
stool.
Neck. But then, the guy... Whatever could go wrong today, let me just tell you something.
Was it one of those?
Well, as I'm driving there, the exact same place I was on Aid Mill Road. Oops, yep. I shouldn't tell anybody about that because that's a good little secret. I'm on Aid Mill Road driving to the University of Minnesota just like last week. And it starts sprinkling. And I'm like, no, get closer to the U, and it's sprinkling even harder. But by the time I actually got to Northrop Auditorium, weather's okay. Things are fine. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Go out, and I'm thinking, well, maybe 2 people will show up because sure enough, they'll have been discouraged from joining me because of the rain. Wrong again, Friel. Lots of people.
Really?
I'm 20.
Wow.
Well, but if I were if I were organizing, say, a march, a liberal march in Washington, it was
that's
probably
400,000 or 500,000.
At least 400,000 or 500,000 people were with me today. Okay, 15, 20, whatever. Guys came, and a woman came in black pants and a white shirt, black tie and the sunglasses, ready to play the Morticians. Beautiful. Pallbearers, I guess would be better. And our dead guy showed up and fit as a fiddle.
Always helpful when you have pallbearers.
You got to have a dead guy. So he played the dead guy. The problem was not the rain at that moment. There was just nobody there. 2 weeks ago when I was at the U, packed. Finals, not so packed. So it would have helped if the sun had been shining and people had been sitting out on the lawn studying because they were all inside Kaufman Union. So it was a bit of a bust. So we move it across the bridge. Randy did a reconnaissance. He goes across the bridge. He was there filming for a Sunday school class, which is extremely cool. He's doing his own deal, which is just great, Randy. And so he does a little surveillance. He's the Joshua... Who's the other one? There were 12. But Caleb, Joshua and Caleb, the 2 good guys who came back with. So Randy/Caleb comes back with the good report and said it's maybe better over there by Kaufman Union. So we go over to Kaufman Union, and I get on a stool and start preaching toward the building because that helps with the sound deal, right? Gardening is important with a rototiller, but not when somebody's trying to street preach. All right, everybody, we'd like you to get... As you will hear in a few moments, the guy starts grinding up the soil with a rototiller. All right, fine. So I'm projecting over the rototiller, because Susan told me not to yell. So I'm projecting over the rototiller. Okay, everybody, have you ever... And then the rain starts. And I mean, we're talking Noah proportions here. It just dumps. So we gather underneath the little columns there at the Northrop or the Kaufman Union, and we decide it's kind of a bust. So everybody went their separate ways. I went inside and started witnessing to people, and you will be hearing all of this in just a few moments. We're going to get to everything that we did at the University of Minnesota this morning, and you are going to be overwhelmed by something as I was overwhelmed, as you will hear in my closing monologue. Ladies and gents, Christians of all ages, we got to start doing something here. We are delusional. We're delusional. We're flat out delusional. You need to go someplace and see the pagans. I am sheltered. I suspect you are sheltered to a degree. I probably more so than you are. I live close to a Christian radio station. I get to work at 8:30 in the I get to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
5:30.
5:30. 3 hours of
after your 17 hours of quiet time.
It's not easy fitting that in. And so I then leave at 6 o'clock ish. I rarely go to lunch, so I'm here with some Christians. Well, a few pagans, but I don't want to name names. And most part, I'm just sheltered. I'm close. I go to church. I like to go out to dinner with my family when we do. I love my family a lot, and I love spending time with them. And if I don't get my fill of that, I don't want to spend time with anybody else, because that's my primary desire, is to spend time with my family. So that's it. I work with Christians. I live with Christians. I visit Christians on the weekend. And today, I was overwhelmed. Now, I've been doing this for quite a while. When we go out into the streets and we witness to people, we go to different universities. But today I was overwhelmed. Started getting this feeling 2 weeks ago, but today this is it. We got to start doing with something. We've got to go out to where the pagans are. We are living in a dream world. As the great theologian Hall & Oates once said, we're living in a dream world, and we gotta go see what is going on. And I am reminded again of the great lyrics of a song that was by, is it Keith Green? Keith Green. Asleep in the Light. Think of the University of Minnesota packed with people. Think of the State Fair. Go to the State Fair, and you know how it angles down when you go into the front gate on Snelling Avenue. It kind of slopes down till you get back by there by the Coliseum. It all angles down. Get up to the top of the hill and look down one of those main streets and just look at humanity, shoulder to shoulder, bumping into each other, sticking to one another, sometimes almost inseparably. Very sticky place. And think of the words to this song. Do you see all the people sinking down? They are lost. They are confused. They are being brainwashed. They are being tricked. And we have got to get out of this mindset that, the church is our church is growing. Did you see the numbers? The church is, we're expanding. It's growing in average. No, it is not. These kids out there who call themselves Christians at best are confused, worst are lost, and the rest of them, all seeking, all searching, and looking for God in all the wrong places. They are floundering, and we have got to stop thinking that, we'll just hang out at the church and wait for some pagans to show up. No, let's make it really seeker-friendly. Sorry, reminded of this quote from John MacArthur. This is it, right here. This one just smacks. Churching the unchurched is an absolute fallacy. In other words, bringing an unchurched person into the church. Fallacy. It's like purposing to let the tares in. We know that in the church there's going to be wheat and tares, wise and foolish virgins, the saved, the unsaved, the good fish, the bad fish, the Calvinists, the Arminians. Now that's a little bit of a stretch. So there's going to be saved and unsaved in the church. And right now the Calvinists are going, are we the wheat or are we the tares in this deal? The Arminians are going, did he choose us as the Arminian? Which ones are we? Okay, so you get the point. We know that it's going to happen. But let's not go bringing them into the church knowing they're not saved. That's not the role of the church. The church, the building, is for the believers to get together, not as an evangelism tool. We're inviting the wolves into where the sheep are? What are we thinking? Back to the MacArthur quote. It is absolutely bizarre to want us to make unsaved people feel comfortable in a church. The church is not a building. The church is a group of worshiping, redeemed, and sanctified people among whom an unbeliever should feel either miserable, convicted, and drawn to Christ, or else alienated and isolated. How many pagans are going to these seeker-sensitive churches? The music's really good. The messages seem really relevant. Are you saved? Huh? You tithing? What? You stop beating your wife? When? The MacArthur quote. Only if the church hides its message and ceases to be what God designed the church to be can it make an unbeliever comfortable. I got another quote. Hold on a second. I got a Spurgeon quote for you here. Hold on. Where's my Charles Spurgeon? Thank you. There it is. Got him. Listen up, Pastor. One of the earliest things a minister should do when he leaves college and settles in a country town or village is to begin open-air preaching. That's for those kooks. That's for those, those fundamentalists, those fire and brimstone people. That's crazy. You know what? It's not. And you know what? I'm sorry. Now, today we had kind of a bit of a flop from a human perspective because of the weather, the setup, the lack of people. Nonetheless, got to witness to somebody, and she looked mighty terrified. A bunch of other people standing around got to witness to other people, so somebody might have been saved today. It's not stupid. It's not. I saw the look in their eyes. Yeah, do some people just walk by? But you know what they do? They walk by and they just go, street preacher. But a lot of people stop, and a lot of people listen. Did I like doing that today? No. No, I didn't. Was it fun? No. No, it wasn't. Is it being obedient? Yes. Yes, it is. Street preacher, church preacher, I'm going to challenge you. You ever grabbed yourself a soapbox and hit the streets? Oh, who are you to tell me? Whoa, sorry, the tradition is pretty rich. Starting with Jesus Christ, John the Baptist, Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, Jeremiah, all of them, street preachers. Are we too good for that?